Renell Hunt, Justin LeBar, back at you here, CSR. You know, we got a lot of great partners. Ticket King, of course, who's doing the suites with me throughout the year. We have WrestleRumble.com. You can go and predict the winners for all the major pay-per-views. Royal Rumble is going to be very exciting to do. Also want to give a shout-out to American-Made Nutrition. American-Made Nutrition, great company. If you like to work out, whether you're a gym rat or whether you're just an average Joe like me who's just trying to obviously drop a few pounds, American-Made Nutrition, get some great merch. You can get some great workout supplements. Use the code LeBar25. You get 25% off your order. Again, you can check them out on Twitter. You can go to their website. You know, again, great stuff. Even if not for you, maybe a good present.
I'm gonna do that right after the show.
Maybe a good present for somebody else. Also, want to say real quick before we get going into our talk about the go home show of Raw and SmackDown this week before Rumble. You know, Chair Shot Rally. A lot of people, takes a lot to make all this happen. One of our greats behind the scenes, she's back here, Hannah LaPisca. She's heading to Italy for the next 5-6 months to do great journalism work. She's been a great part of our crew last year. She's helped make all the summer filmings happen, behind the scenes stuff, so we want to give a big shout out to her. We're going to miss her. We will try our best to fill the void. It might take a bunch of us to do it.
Hey, let's do a remote down there. We'll never know.
We'll do the Italy tour in April when WWE goes overseas. All right, Rev, let's talk Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman. Just a few seconds.
Yes.
You talk about passion. You talk about romance. Well, there was no romance here,
but
there was
passion. There is passion.
There was passion. That 4 or 5 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, is what professional wrestling is built on. That feeling of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then Braun just backed away.
The typical heel-like mode. The thing is like this. As a wrestler, you have to understand that, just as you know, LeBar, there is an art behind it. You have to learn how to tell a story without really saying words. I feel like with them, no words needed. No words needed. You have two giants, and if we go back a little bit, you have Braun, who's perhaps upset from what's been going on with Sami Zayn. You definitely have Brock that's completely ticked off from what happened to Goldberg. You have two ticking time bombs, some of the biggest giants in the industry, standing toe-to-toe, and we're left to see what's going to happen at the Battle Royal. I think it's amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean,
something's going to happen.
I thought it was a great lesson. I wrote about this on Upgroove, where all my wrestling opinions is upgruv.com. You can also download the app. I talked about this past week. This kind of proves, look, there's nothing against the Sami Zayns of the world. There's nothing against Seth Rollins or anybody. But you know, those guys do have still like an average size, an average look, so to speak. And some fans might not give that enough chance to see their awesome skill set. But when you see Brock and Braun,
oh my goodness,
you have everybody's attention. My point being, there's a great place in professional wrestling for fast-paced matches and some of the amazing movesets you see from the Zayns and the Rollins and so forth. But Braun and Brock prove that big men still sell. And there's a reason why Vince loves big men, because it's a larger-than-life. You can't see two guys. They look like the average nobody. Nobody looks like them. And that's what makes it so special, and we have to see that match eventually. Braun keeps saying he wants real competition. Don't get much realer than Brock Lesnar. And I don't care what the report says. I don't care if the report says after Rumble we have no Lesnar till Mania, because that can always change. WWE always changes and adds Brock if they feel they need to. Make Brock and Goldberg go together, go against each other at Fastlane. Help sell that March 5th pay-per-view. Do Brock versus Braun WrestleMania.
You know what? I'm looking for who would you have if it goes the route to WrestleMania? Brock or Braun?
Who would win?
Yes.
I think if you continue to book Braun Strowman the way he's been booked completely, I'd say this is the chance you give it to Braun.
Yeah.
You have Braun. Look, Brock
Lesnar
has lost. Brock Lesnar has lost to John Cena a couple times. He's lost to Triple H. He's lost to The Undertaker. He lost to Goldberg. It doesn't matter. It does not take away who Brock is. You still respect Brock because you still know that he's a true badass. So it's a perfect situation. As long as Braun Strowman continues not to be pinned and or anything like that, I think it's a perfect situation for Braun to beat Brock. It may not be a minute 26 like Goldberg, but Braun could go in and beat Brock, and it would mean something on a big stage. If Braun's not going to be involved in a title match, and if he's not fighting The Undertaker, there's no bigger match you can give to the guy after the year that you booked him through.
Braun!
I like it. I like it. All right, so we have the final Raw, final SmackDown going into Rumble in San Antonio. Give me something we got to see. What's the go-home look like?
You know what? I'm looking for, number one, let's look at Raw right now. There's a lot of good things happening. Raw right now, I would say, goodness gracious, I just had a brain fart. Goodness. That doesn't usually happen. Doesn't usually happen.
I thought it was a magic trick coming or something.
You know what?
Don't cough anything up again. Oh, boy.
Well, all right, there we go.
People eating meals right now.
Brain fart right now. It's all right. You can eat some carbs. My thing is right now with Raw. I feel like Owens and Jericho are a hot commodity. Hot commodity, almost like the king right now.
I don't want to touch that.
But you know what? Oh, that was a rough one. But a hot commodity right now. The thing is, the shark cage, it's a good way. It's a good way to tease it right now. You have these guys. No other person can get over a list. No one can get over the word it. No one can get over anything like that. And especially you still have, whether you hate him or love him, just like a John Cena, Roman Reigns is still at the top of the game right now. I'm looking for some great things to happen from them. Let's fast forward over to SmackDown. We have a lot of great things happening with SmackDown right now. I say right now, my focus right now is Raw. I don't know what's drawing me to it. A lot of people say SmackDown is a land of opportunity. Right now, I feel like Raw.
Well, Raw is where The Undertaker last appeared. It's where Brock and Goldberg are. I mean, Raw's just, that's just where the bigger names are. I mean, obviously, John Cena's on SmackDown. That's a huge name. But, Raw's just where the part-time novelty acts would be. You're not going to have Brock Lesnar, I don't think, for this go-home show. I think you will have Goldberg. You're not going to have Undertaker. So you got to continue to sell the Reigns, Jericho Owens dynamic. We'll make our official predictions next weekend. And that's where you make your final picks. That's where you make your final Wrestle Rumble picks. I'm still leaning towards Chris Jericho winning this Rumble, and I just do not think Roman Reigns is winning this title, folks. I think it's still Jericho Owens. But I think you can mess with those dynamics, and of course, both Raw and SmackDown on one of the shows. One of them, you almost said Jess. Either way, I think you got to have, of course, the classic Donnybrook. You got to have all the wrestlers flood in the ring, and you got to sell the Rumble that way. I don't think you have to do much more. This Rumble's kind of going to sell itself. That's what it is at this point. Besides me being there, in San Antonio, come catch me on the Riverwalk beforehand.
You never know. LeBar might actually be in the battle.
You never know. You never know. I mean, Triple H called me a loser on national television last March. I'm due for a comeback.
Was it you versus Triple H WrestleMania?
Please. The Donnybrook. We'll win it there. The Donnybrook of the wrestlers.
You know what? I'm still gonna go with my man Reigns. A lot of people say, now mind you, you're drinking of Chris Jericho's drinking in, man. But listen, my holy water right now is still spiked, especially right before vacation. Roman Reigns.
It's not holy water. It's tequila, my friend.
Tequila water?
No, there's no water. It's tequila.
Okay, well, I guess my holy water spiked with tequila or just straight tequila. Chase it down with.
Rev's gonna walk in with a Bible in one hand and a lime in the other hand. All right, folks.
I agree with you. Sadly,
we are out of time for this weekend. It is going to be a fun final days as we lead into San Antonio. Make sure you follow my social media and you go on there. I'll have the announcement and all the information about where I'll be prior to Royal Rumble on Sunday in San Antonio. It's going to be a great time. Again, WrestleRumble.com, American Made Nutrition. Thanks to Josh. Thanks to Renell. Bye-bye, Hannah. We are going to miss you. We'll see you next weekend here on Chair Shot Reality.
At Josh Eisenberg 4 on Twitter, it is now time for your NXT in 90. We are 2 weeks away from NXT TakeOver in San Antonio. And this past week on NXT, if you missed it, Nikki Cross picked up a very quick victory and solidified herself as the #1 contender, along with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, to take on Asuka at NXT TakeOver in that fatal 4-way match. What does this tell you? That NXT and WWE is not confident in 1, not 2, but 3 women for a potential opportunity against Asuka. But we all know who's going to win and who's going to headline NXT in Orlando in just a few months. You also saw the Revival take on TM61. The Revival injuring the leg of Thorne, so it's going to be interesting to see how NXT builds around an injury of these 2 young up-and-coming guys. But we all want to see the Revival on the main roster, don't we? Revival American Alpha on SmackDown Live. We saw it in NXT. It can certainly work on SmackDown Live. And the main event was a contract signing with the glorious Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. These 2 guys, 2 weeks in NXT in San Antonio. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be compelling. I love how they expedited this feud and have given Bobby Roode a reason, giving him his ticket from Dallas last year when he was a spectator, giving it to Shinsuke Nakamura, telling Shinsuke Nakamura that he is done, his time is up. Bobby Roode is a superstar. Bobby Roode has everything, and Shinsuke Nakamura is the perfect man to face Bobby Roode. But don't expect this to end in January. This will be the main event in Orlando. At Josh Eisenberg 4, Chair Shot Reality all weekend long. Tell me what you think of NXT at Josh Eisenberg 4, CSR.